I work in an office. When people stop by my desk and refuse to leave me alone, I will get up and refill my water bottle while they are talking to me. Instead of walking back to my desk, I walk them to theirs. They instinctively will sit down. Then I just sever the convo and get back to work. This is actually brilliant. I have a few chatty coworkers who station themselves by my desk way past their welcome. I'll definitely have to try this out. Subscribe, and I will shout your name. What is the most effective psychological trick you use? My youngest, 4, got into the why phase a little while back. Read an article that said the best way to get them to stop was to ask them, "I'm not sure, what do you think?" It is a godsend. They answer their own question, you provide some feedback, sounds good to me, and they immediately move on. Fucking awesome. My friend responded to her toddler's 7th question in an extreme, "But why chain with well, why not?" in a really happy voice. Her son looked completely mind blown and stopped asking. I keep trying to use this with my niece. Her response is always why yes, and I just don't know. Good question, kid. To avoid workplace drama and be well liked is to just compliment people behind their back. I would never say this to her face, but she's a wonderful person and a gifted artist. I currently manage around 240 people between 6 restaurants. It is often hard to get them to do what is needed. I have found saying "I need your help" is sufficient to get them on board. People want to feel needed and like they are making a difference. Expressing to them as much makes all the difference in the world. I use this with my toddler too. It works well. Yeah, like if I'm clearing the dishwasher and my toddler is running around, throwing things into it, while I work, I'll give him one of his plates, bowls, or utensils and ask him to put it away for me. He will happily do it. Even if he sees I don't have anything to give him, he'll take a stack of his bowls and hands them to me, so I can give them back one by one as he puts them away. Kids are stupid, but adorable a lot of the time. Edit. He also helped me with raking the leaves last year. He didn't use a rake, but our water fountain net to pick them up and shovel them into the can. Even though he makes chores a little tougher, I'm proud of him. Listening to someone without giving advice or pushing for more information typically nets me more information than being pushy for it. If you want to hear what someone has to say, just let them speak. If they stop, just wait. They will continue speaking and adding to what they were saying to fill the silence. I've done this a lot. I work as a creative director. I have a lot of great clients, unfortunately with a few shitty managers from their side. They usually go with a mantra of "if it's not my idea, it's not a good idea." I end up, sometimes, telling them about something Google, Tesla, Amazon, Samsung, etc. is doing, and how we could try it. They jump at these ideas. The ideas are actually mine or my team's. Works like a charm. Use this sparingly. Using it as an easy escape is not a good idea. It works, but know when to use it. If you use it all the time, it won't make you look any better. It will also allow people to be promoted who aren't capable of doing the job. Pointed out by Rootfoot. Thank you. Good luck everyone. Edit. Added on last paragraph. Disclaimer. Edit. Thank you for the silvers and gold. First time. I'm unsure of protocol. Much of my old jobs involved tricking my managers into thinking the best option was their idea all along. It's great for getting things done, but horrible when it comes time to compensate you appropriately for all you bring to the team. When I'm doing backcountry hiking patrol in a wilderness area, I'm supposed to keep an eye out for people with dogs, which are not allowed. The ranger taught me to ask any dog walkers, "Are you looking for somewhere to walk your dog?" That gives them the chance to pretend they didn't know about the rule. Signs posted of course, so they don't lose face. Then I give them a brochure with dog-friendly trails. It's a brilliantly non-confrontational technique, and I use it in other parts of my life. Edit. Many people are asking why no dogs. It has to do with this park being designated wilderness, which is very different from national, state, local county parks. Inner argument, find something to agree on then push your main point. When you realize this, it's like a superpower. Oh, you like Black Mirror? So do I. It's like a modern tragic Twilight Zone. I know, right? Well, fuck you, and your loud ass feet walking around upstairs. What are you practicing for a marching band? I recently read that saying you're right instead of I know makes you look less like an asshole and doesn't diminish something someone else may have just found out. I think it's pretty effective at not letting you look like a total ass. If you need to remember something, think about it while doing something noticeably unusual. This will pair the memory with the something, so that when it is noticed later on it will trigger that particular memory. For instance, I need to take out the garbage before going to bed. Put your pillow at the foot of your bed. Shit, this is a good idea. I'm gonna go put all my forks in the pantry, so I remember to use it. Where the fuck are all my forks? Where the fork are all my fucks? If you need to de-escalate someone and get them to communicate, asking questions about numbers/personal information. I work in emergency services. If someone is totally distraught and shut down, asking their phone number/address/SSN/birth can pull them out of the emotional place and bring them back to a headspace where they can talk about what happened more easily. I often ask these questions, even after I have the information, just to de-escalate. I have a tendency to give outdated information in a stressful emergency. When asked my kid's birth date, I've given my own. When asked my name, I'll say my maiden name from 16 years ago. When asked my phone number, I'll recite my childhood home line. Don't know what's with that. Brain freezes and regresses, I guess. When somebody shy is speaking, if you look at them and nod your head, it encourages them to keep talking. I'm hard of hearing. I've spent a lot of my life nodding at my family to show I've heard and understood, so they don't ask, "Did you hear that?" I do it at work, especially in meetings. I get a lot of attention from the speaker as I look like the only person actively listening. Instead of asking, "Do you have any questions?" I ask, "What questions do you have?" The first almost always results in silence, and the second lets people feel comfortable to ask questions. I always feel bad when I get it the first time and people ask me if I have questions and end up complimenting their explaining skills, so they don't think I'm just tired of talking to them. This is a good opportunity for a back brief where you summarize what they said in your own words. Demonstrates comprehension and allows them to correct any deficiencies or misconception. My wife calls this the simplest, most manipulative thing I do. Whenever I bump into an acquaintance, meaning not friend, just a person I know, I of course say hi and the conversation goes like this. Me, "Hey, how are you?" Name, "You look good." Them, laugh, "Thank you, I'm good, how are you?" Me, "I'm great, I'm on the way to wherever I'm going to at the time," and I tell them why too. "So what are you doing here?" Them, go into same detail to tell me where they're going and why. Me, "Alright, well, I won't keep you up any longer than I have a good day." Name. It leaves people feeling good, takes away the awkwardness of cutting a convo short, and it makes them want to leave. If only my memory would autofill the name field. I worked retail when I was younger. A guy I met in my first week told me never learn how to do everything, because then they'll want you to do everything. Best advice I've ever heard. Edit. I feel I should clarify. Too many responses taking this literally. This advice applies to retail. If you're an accountant for a major corporation, obviously this does not apply. If you work at Walmart and your job is to scan inventory and they ask you if you want to learn how to cash out upfront, the answer is no, cause then it is now your job to scan inventory and cash out. You still get paid the same. You're still on the bottom of the shit pole, but now you're expected to know and perform twice the work. If you dig the best ditch, your only reward will be a bigger shovel. Anyone here reading through the posts for the sake of using them in the future, but an hour later you forget everything you've just read? Put all your forks in your pantry while reading a good advice. A few of my favorites. If you look happy to see someone every time you see them, they will eventually be happy to see you. Be nice, even to mean people. It's kinda fun see someone initially angry soften when you don't give in to anger. Don't insult people, tell them how you wish they'd behave. For example, someone is obviously rude, just say you really like when they are nice to you. They can't really call you out on it and possibly make them realize their behavior. Ask big knowing it will be dismissed, then ask for the thing you really want. There's a real term for it, open door technique or something. It's actually door in the face technique. Thanks everyone. When someone is trying to throw excuses, or generally if they are getting a bit arsy about something, often the best way to handle it is to stare back with mild interest and contribute nothing to their monologue. If you don't give them anything to work with, they'll talk themselves into a corner and lose confidence in what they're saying. I learned this trick from an old director who used to control pretty much any meeting room scenario by being the most silent and impassive person in the room. I fondly remember the time someone asked him a ridiculous question and he just stared at him for about 15 seconds. 15 seconds is a long time to be stared at in a room full of people. The guy wilted into his chair and nobody could work out if the director was angry or just quietly mulling it over.